Every time. I don't know what it is. We'll have to do it. Alrighty. Hello, hello. 293. Alright, let's try that. Hi, everybody. We're just getting all logged into Chitty Chat here so that I can see what yours are all doing. How are you doing? Have you had a good week? It's Friday. There we go. Is that us in chat now? Pop us a message if you're there so we can see ya. Hopefully it'll all come through. Sorry we're a few minutes late. We noticed last week that there was a bit of a lag on the webcam, so Craig figured out something that might have fixed it. Did you think it fixed it? Think it fixed it. So hopefully that will be a positive thing. Woohoo! Hopefully that will be worth the fact that I was a few minutes late. Hi there, Louise. She's starting to think we weren't going to be on. Every time I move the webcam so that I'm centered, and then I like move to the side. I need to have like a spot on the floor. Just glue my slippers to the floor so I can actually move around a little. Bronwyn is here as well. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. How are y'all doing? Hope you all had a wonderful week. That you're ready to get crafty. I'm assuming audio is all okay. Let us know if it is not before we release Craig back into the wild. Isn't that right, Craigie? What are you looking at, Craig? You look like you're inspecting something now.
What's this one?
What's what?
With multiple cameras.
No idea. All sounds and looks good. Woohoo! Marjolaine's here as well. Hello, hello. Now, I just wanted to show you guys something on the Hefty Doodle blog because I am hoping that we will use it as inspiration for one of the cards for tonight. And you may have already seen it over on the blog, but if not, I wanted to let you guys know. So over on the blog, every month, Davina does a color snapshot blog post, and she actually takes a picture and she uses the eyedropper to pull out a couple of colors from the photo, and then uses that as inspiration for her card on the blog. He's staying here, right? Or Piper, or Craig, he's staying here. And although the camera makes my screen look all weird and yellow, so if I come closer and zoom in a little bit, it is this absolutely gorgeous, delicious looking donut. And the colors is this really soft blue, a soft purple, and a soft pink. And the card that she made is this one here, which is has the Dino timestamp set. She used the Stargazer backdrop and she did some no-line watercoloring there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I thought that I would use that as inspiration for one of my cards tonight. So I have pulled out some Heavy Doodle cardstock. I might not use the cardstock, but it kind of gives us an idea of the colors that we are wanting to go with. So we have a bubblegum blush and we have ice blast. And in fact, this purple is an old scrapbook page that I had, which is a really soft pastel purple. Which one?
It's a bit quiet.
A bit quiet. Somebody else said that last week, that the mic was a bit like lower, like very quiet. So let's see if you can fix that for us. There was a bit of mixed responses. Hi Kenrick, hey, elbow bump, bless you. Jasmine's here as well. And speaking of Jasmine, I also wanted to show you a technique tonight, something that I know Jasmine was inquiring about over on the Crafty Purple Frog Facebook group, which is mirror stamping. And so I'm gonna attempt to have a go at that and show you guys how to do that as well.
I'm just going to turn it up so people are going to know the big difference to people.
Okay, so everybody, just a little warning. Craig's going to turn up the sensitivity of the mic. So just be prepared. I'll try not to scream or anything. Okay, so I'm talking at a normal level, the same level as I was before, but hopefully you can hear us a little bit, hear me a little bit more. Let me know how that is for everybody. You might need to adjust your volume on the other end, but hopefully that will help things. Let us know in the comments. Jasmine says, yay, I have so many stamps. I want to mirror stamp, yay. And Ashley says louder, and Bronwyn says perfect, perfect. He is perfect, isn't he? Come on in.
Through.
It's
No.
through, come on in. Okay, I'll have to make do with a hand. Oh, that's Piper's bribery for homeschooling. The white ones are for if she's done really, really well, and the Smarties are middle of the road, and then the brown ones are if she's done just okay.
Chips for when you done.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Craigie. All right. So there's also a couple of things that I wanted to do. So many ideas tonight, and probably not enough time or energy to do them. But I also wanted to mention to you that he is 19 number. A couple of things. One, we have a promotion over at the Happy Doodle store, and it is every order gets a free die, and the die is, I'm just trying to find it so I can show it to you guys. It is the Be Mine die, and you don't need a code or anything like that. It's automatically added to all orders, which is nice. You don't have to remember to add a code. And when I was putting together the little graphic and stuff like that for it, oh, it's not there. I had this idea, and I thought, oh, I can't wait till Friday so that I can do that. So what I was thinking of is that the free die is Be Mine, perfect for Valentine's Day. Be Mine, you get these two dies. But what I was thinking is I want to create a card using the Mine die and the seagulls, you know, like in, is it Finding Nemo when they go mine, 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 mine? I just thought that'd be absolutely hilarious. So I'm keeping that in the back of my brain as an idea as well. So further in mind, we do have a promotion on over at the Happy Doodle store. And the other thing which is exciting is that I got some more deliveries this week from companies. Yes, Yes. I got some more deliveries this week to boost our craft essentials line, and the extra things are in the store. You'll see there's some more tools over there. I have added the liquid platinum embossing powder, which you guys will have seen me use this several times. And I know that when I do use it, you guys always ask me, oh, what is it? So the liquid platinum embossing powder is over at the Happy Little store. We've also got the powder bag tool. I know we have the EK Success one with a little brush on it, but this one I like for larger areas. We have them over at the Happy Little store. We also have an adhesive pickup square if you get any little tacky bits, so that would be good. And I also I have now stocking some scoreboards, and so I bought this one from me as well. So this is We Are Memory Keepers mini scoreboard, and I haven't even looked at it yet, but I knew that I wanted it. Thank you, Snow. Just linking up my card. So I have the Martha Stewart scoreboard. Oh, this is nice. But it's a bit cumbersome, and it always feels like I'm going way over there to grab it and then putting it back. So I saw this one and I thought, actually, that's pretty neat and pretty tidy. I think that would be kind of cute. So it'll fit here beside me, and it has inches along the top, and then it actually has centimeters along the right and on the bottom as well. So you can use it whether you're metric or imperial. And then I like the way that it has a little holder for the score tool. And on the back, it looks like it has an envelope guide. I'm going to have to read the instructions to get a little bit more information about how to do that. But it looks like it has a handy dandy little guide there as well. So that's fun. The other thing I got, which is something I have been looking forward to getting, is the Deco Foil Transfer Gel Duo. So I have the transfer gel, and that requires a laminator for, so you apply this over a stencil, and then you put some foil over, you leave it to dry for about an hour, and then you put some foil over it or some flocking, and you run it through a laminator. But the Duo works even without heat. It works through running it through a die cutting machine just with pressure. So I have been wanting to get my hands on this. I bought some from the shop, and I got one from my Craft Room 2. And I also added some stencil pals, which is the little like silicone squeegee tool. So I just wanted to mention those bits and pieces. Might play with this today. I don't know. I've got quite a lot to get through, I think, if I want to be inspired by all those things. Thank you for the linkies, Snow. Jasmine says, I'm trying to be so good with no orders through, and it's only January. Oh dear. Okay, let's put these up here for now. And let's think a little bit about mirror stamping. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Craig suggested fairies, or not fairies, angels. So yeah, let's do this. Let's give it a go. So mirror stamping is, let's say you have an image where you have a critter or an object that's facing one way, and then it would be nice to have the opposite way over here to kind of frame your card. And mirror stamping will allow you to do that. However, it can be a little bit tricky, but we'll give that a go in a little bit. Let's pop this one into the side. Pop it in here for now, and then we will work on my background. So I want to create an inky background using these kind of colors. And I actually think I'm going to use some Distress Oxides. I love the sort of more pastel-y kind of tones that you get from oxides. So let me go and grab some spun sugar, if I can find it. It always feels like spun sugar is the one that runs away from me. Aha, find it. Spun sugar. And tumbled glass. Tumbled glass, found it. And then I have milled lavender here. I think wilted violet's going to be a bit too dark, but we'll take it out anyway. See what we can do. How is everybody doing today? Any exciting news? Anything fun to share? Has anyone been crafting? I'd love to know. All right. I'm going to use some Distress ink for this to build my background. And hopefully that'll get us going. Actually, I think I have some of the domed ones here that I've used for with the pink before. Let me see if I can find them. Here they are. Jasmine says, no crafting today, or no crafting this week. It's been a busy week. But she's looking forward till tomorrow. Oopsies. These are jumping out at me. Do you have big plans for tomorrow crafting, Jazz? And are you crafting anything in particular or just playing? Roberta is crafting along, yay! And doing some die cutting. Oh, what dies are you using? Roberta says, have you seen the Wee Mary Keeper's mini vacuum? I think I have, that you can like roll it over your desk. That's kind of cute. I actually have this little guy over here, which is a little small dustpan and brush, and I use him a lot. I think that the little mini vacuum for me, I'd probably just end up putting it in a drawer and then never using it. But because that's hung up, I tend to pick that out a little bit more, I think. Okay, I'm going to start on the bottom. I'm going to use my Cloudy Sky stencil for this, I think. Let's see what we can do. And we'll start with some wilted violet at the bottom. Oh, it's so beautiful. And let's bring in some of our kind of cloudy shapes along here. Jasmine says she has a design team card to do. And then maybe something with time for tea stamps. I have an idea for a bookmark, she says. Awesome. Okay, so I'm coming in here with some milled lavender. Loving that. And then some I think I'll use this one again. Some more of that milk lavender, but then bring it into some pink. Jasmine has got Thursday and Friday off next week. Woohoo! Yay for time off. Get to craft. Roberta's die cutting some hearts. Are you doing some Valentine's Day cards, Rob? All right, I think we're probably getting up to the as far as we're going to get with a A2 card over there. But I'm going to bring some blue into this bottom section just to bring some of that blue tone in. In fact, I'm going to bring blue in all of these white cloudy areas. I think that'd be really cute. I want to make sure that I leave some of the edge of the clouds. But I think having that blue definitely gives it more of a celestial look, I think. Martin says, colouring on craft paper with pencils, just stamped hay there. Oh, cool. It would be create for little die cut bits. It would be create for little die cut bits and embossing power spells. Oh yeah, it'd be great. Yeah. Definitely for the embossing powder. I'm feeling that. Or glitter, that kind of thing. And oh yeah, and the little die cut bits. Jasmine says, I'm making some Hessian roses tonight and lace Hessian bows, like from my wedding, so I can use them to stage photos. Awesome. That's really cool. Do you remember back in the day when I made you do crafty things to decorate the bathroom? Ah, the fun we had. All right. So here we have a cloudy, cloudy sky inspired by the color snapshot by Davina. Let's clean up now. Sarah Louise says, Lesley, I feel you need a station. Yeah, Yeah, so Lucy and Amy and that were talking about the stations. I actually nearly put one on my order. I stopped because I have the tonic glass one that I thought I would love, and the problem was my lights would glare on it and it would be horrible for you guys to watch videos. I think anyway. And so that's why I don't really use that. But the station is different. It's magnetic, I think. So I might need to check that one out. I'm hoping to build my craft corner on my days off, says Jasmine. Oh, nice. Roberta says she's kind of doing Valentine's Day cards. More like you are loved cards. Oh, that's really sweet. I like that. All right, so we need to cut this at 4 1/4. I'll keep this, put it back in my paint on section there. And I'm going to come in with some pink on top. Now I want to splatter this. So let's grab some paint brushes. To paint the brushes, where would I find a good one? What have I got? This one will probably do. You right, buddy? You want to go up to the chair? Oh, he's going in his bed. With homeschooling happening, we have 2 armchairs in this craft room, a bike, and a dog bed. And would you believe the dog very rarely actually goes into the dog bed because he'd much rather sit on the chairs. But who'd blame him, really? All right, let's see what we can do here. Get some water on the go. Roberta has creating on the brain. Jasmine loved her crafty time at work. Oh, good. Sarah Louise says, hubby bought me the 12 by 12 station. You just put cardstock where your light shines. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that sounds like that would be okay then. I'm just going to take one of these stamp pockets and flip it around. And add some ink to the back. And then splatter away. Add a little tiny bit of that darker purple. Kind of looks like it's raining in heaven now. And I actually don't think I'm going to add any blue. You need a bigger room. I do need a bigger room. I need a bigger room, but I also need a massive clear out. And even though I have been trying, I think I need to try harder. Any move, any room, any news, there we go, on your move? Well, nothing that is good news, essentially. We heard that the lady buying our house has got her contract. And the lady that's buying her flat, in turn, has got her contract. However, that lady has got some, because it's a flat, there is a freeholder involved. So basically the person who, or the person or the company or whatever that owns the whole building that the flat is in. And the lady who is buying the flat had some questions and queries for the building owner and needed some clarification on something. So this week has just been, we've basically been told, yeah, we're working on it. And that's kind of all what we've had so far. Not really had any specific information. We did have a little bit of a panic because we thought that it was going to be something complicated, like that she had a big problem with it. Because if she had a big problem and was like, we need X, Y, and Z changed, otherwise I'm not going to sign the contract. We thought that was maybe a possibility, but our buyer has assured us that it is actually something small, quite small, and that we shouldn't have to worry too much. We'll see. We will see. All right, so for mirror stamping, I need to remember to push this forward so you guys can see a little bit. First thing we're going to do is, let me get this straight. We have a stamp here that I'm going to stamp onto my cardstock. However, we're also going to use this stamp to do the reverse stamping. And in order to do that, you need another stamp which is bigger than this. Now, the stamp you use needs to be flat. So, for example, you can use, let me see, here's one here by the Stamp Market, and it'll be completely flat, and that would work fine. Something like this, as long as it is flat on this side, that is going to help you get the reverse image. Now, I actually have a stamp, which is just a solid flat stamp. And it is by MFT, and it is called Mirror Image. So this is what I would normally use for doing my mirror image. But you know what? Let's try with this one first and foremost. So when I am stamping using, in order to color things in, I would normally use Memento Tuxedo Black ink, as you guys know, because I rave about it all the time. I'm going to move up into this corner. However, it dries quite fast, and what I found is that whenever you're doing reverse stamping, then you want to use something that maybe stays wet a little bit longer. So I will use VersaFine. Now, what I will also say is that the the image pretty much will not come out perfect. I don't think I've ever done one that comes out perfect. I don't know if any of you have any particular tips in order to increase the chances of getting a better result. If you do, let us know. So what we want to do is we're going to lay down this stamp with the flat side facing up. All right. In fact, if I do it this way, it can fit quite snug up there, and that'll be fine. And then we use a VersaFine or something to that effect to ink up your stamp, get it nice and juicy. And then I'm going to stamp this onto the flat image of this stamp. Now, normally it sticks to it. Aha! Okay, so now you can see I have a little angel here that has been stamped onto that flat side. Now what I can do is transfer this over to here, and because the underside will stick to this, it works a bit better with the flat one completely. If I remove her for a second, I'll ink you up in a minute, and I push this lady back over here and give her a little rub down. Do, 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 do. And then pull her off. Oh, that did not stamp very well at all. You can see the lines. So in like 100% of the time that I have done it, I've had to go back in with a pen and draw it on. Like 100% of the time I've had to do that. Normally it comes out a little bit better than that. I wonder if it's just the fact that I've not used this stamp before. Bronwyn is saying, I like to use my Waffle Flower Media Mat and use VersaFine. I've never used the Media Mat for that. That's a good idea. So it's silicone. So that is, that's interesting to see if that makes a difference. I do have a Media Mat. I might try that out. Well, let's give this another go with this flat stamp. So you use VersaFine Onyx Black. This is the VersaFine. And do you get it better than this? I mean, you can hardly even see that on the screen. Let's see. Let's pop this up ways like this. And then we will put her on top. Sarah Louise uses a jelly plate. Interesting. So a jelly plate, I think, will be a bit more squishy compared to the photopolymer here. Am I right? Now, it may well just be that I took too long to do it. I need to move faster. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, okay, that one definitely came out better. Not sure if it is the fact that I was faster. Roman says comes out very well, not much touch up needed. Oh, okay. Let's take out the mat then. So Brahman, walk us through it. Well, how do you do it on the mat? We'll give it a go. See what we can do. Do you just stamp it on the mat and then put the card right on top of the, you put the paper upside down? So let's see if we can make this work. So I've cut a piece of card that will fit on there, and let's stamp it on the mat and then place the paper over the top and rub. Okay, let's give it a go. So we'll stamp this or ink this up with our Versa Fine. Make sure my mat's flat more than anything else. Stamp it on the mat. Ooh, it's a bit slippy. I feel like I kind of moved a little bit. Let's see. On the mat and rub. Exciting. Oh, wow. Yes, that's a massive difference. I think that's definitely the winner. Definitely the winner. Or is it going to come off my mat? Is the next question. Not bad. That's what I need to use. I need to actually just use my media mat. Oh, Snow says Memento also works for me. It's like a silicone, I think. It's like a, yeah, I think it's a silicone. It works really well. I wonder if you can use one of the tan mats. Let's give that a go. So this is the tan mat that you use for embossing. Using the die cutting machine. So let's give that a little go. Jasmine's like, I need one. And I think the waffle flower one, they have a little one now too, don't they? Oh, also works really well with that. Not so good at getting it off this one though. I'm sure a little bit of stamp cleaner will probably do the trick. Bronwyn says that the mat is awesome, so she's a big fan. I should say that the colored bit is not part of the mat. The colored bit is the piece of cardboard that it comes stuck to whenever you get it in the package. It just, when I pulled it out of the drawer, I just had it on it. I keep it on the mat because that cardboard, because the back has got that sort of shiny grip to it, which is great for not moving around on your desk, but it picks up all the fluff. So when it's in my drawer, I keep it on this. Hold the image up to the light and line the die on the back, it suggests now. So you can line the die up on the back. That sounds like a good idea, but that turned out really well. In fact, much better than any of the other ways that I've done it before. So that's really cool. So let's give this lady another ink up. I think if I can fit her in here somewhere. Vital. Oh, I feel like I might have to strip off before too long. Put these ones back. And I'm going to get rid of this. And keep my medium mat here now. And we'll use it. And also, in fact, if I have my media mat and I place it right underneath the camera, it will remind me to work in frame. There we go. Great. So now we have this little girl here. And then we have two this way. Oh, it does gather all the fluff though. So I will say that this one here is the Versa Fine, and it is a much duller black compared to this one. Can you see it on the actual screen? Let me just mute you while I take off my shirt, my sweater. That's better. Brahman says that she might even invest in the media mat. Haha. Marlene says, well, I must try it myself. I have the media mat and also the mirror image stamp by MFT. But if the mat works, I will put the stamp by MFT up for sale. Yes, it looks like the mat definitely works better. So that's good. All right, let's get some color in here. And we're gonna color these little girlies in. And I will try and be cautious of the fact that this one here might want to move around a little. Hey, Nessa. Nessa says, what have I missed? You have missed some ink blending over here. Can you see? We are being inspired today by a blog post on the Happy Doodle blog by Davina, where every month she does a color snapshot. I always forget the name and then I have to think about it. A color snapshot. And that means that she picks a photo and she picks the colors from the photos and then is inspired by them to make her card. And this month she used a card of a photo of this gorgeous donut, and it looked so delicious. And I thought that I would do the same. Get inspired by it too. So the three colors that was in her snapshot, color snapshot, were these three colors. There was a really light pink, like bubblegum blush, a light blue, like ice blast, and then a light purple. This is not a Happy Doodle cardstock, that's just one that I had in my craft stash. As we've made our celestial sky there. And yes, I tried different ways of mirror stamping. First of all, using a stamp that was bigger than this little lady. And then I used the MFT mirror stamping stamp, which is just a solid stamp. And then I used this, which is the Waffle Flower Media Matte. Jasmine said, when Craig suggested the angels, did he look at my previous orders to work out what I don't have? Well, he must have done. No, I think the angels is right by the door. So you might not know this, that all the Craig's office is just grid wall and all the stamps are hung there. Pretty much his office is the shop. And I said to him, tell me one Happy Doodle stamp. And he was like, what for? And I said, for me to be inspired for tonight. Jasmine asked for some mirror stamping. And he went, angels? Okay. And he said, I don't know. That's like the last one I see when I walk out the door. Angels is fine. Angels are good. Forgot about this hand over here. Actually, the ink's not moving as much as I thought it would, so that's good. And I think this one will have darker hair. Gotta have a little variety. Red, brown, gold brown. Let's see. There we go. We have two little angels. Do I sell the Media Matte? I don't, but I can get them in if you guys are interested in them. I purposely bought one for myself to test it out and then thought if you guys like them, I'll get them in. But they're not cheap, so it's not the kind of thing I wanted to spend money on if I didn't want to stock up lots in the store and then be like, I don't actually like them. I have heard that they can get stained. What about you, Bronwyn? You said you have one. Has yours been stained at all? I'm not too bothered. Oh, that's running there. I'm not too bothered about it getting stained because I think that it's probably inevitable no matter what you use anyway. My child has stolen my marker here. Somebody is asking how much they are roughly. To be honest, I don't know, because not only did I buy this at trade price, I also bought it about, I don't know, 10 months ago. So feel free to have a little mooch. Jasmine, do you want to take that task? Just Google it for us and share with everyone. I'm going to give these guys little golden slippers as well, or silver slippers. Ah, more cute. And what other uses does it have? Well, it will be heat resistant as well, so you can use it if you're using anything with heat, like glue guns and everything like that. But but otherwise I'm not really sure. Googling, please hold. Mine gets stained if I use red ink, says Brahman. But I think that's just red ink. For your red ink will stain everything. Margeline says, mine is not stained yet. I've got it for a year now. I think I bought it second hand. Oh, there you go. $35 for a large one, says Roberta. I don't know what that is in pounds, because whenever we bring things into the UK with all the customs and everything like that, normally it would work out more from the UK side of things. So it might be worth having a look, see if you can find one in the UK. Works with embossing too. What does that mean? Oh, you can use like an embossing tool on it because it has a little bit of give on it. I don't think there's an awful lot of give. Oh, maybe you mean heat embossing. Do you mean heat embossing? Create and Craft mini one is $20.99, so you're probably looking about 30 or 40 quid. Bronwyn says, it does clean up quite well. I have the Tim Holtz glass mat as well, but the waffle flower mat, I find it better for seeing the colors on there. Okay, so I'm going to try Snow's trick, and in fact, I'm going to attempt it on my phone, so please forgive the shining light. Do you guys see that? I think it would work better on like a window glass, a window pane. And there is a potential that this does not work if I haven't lined it up correctly. But luckily I have a spare over there. Bronwyn likes the, Bronwyn likes the mini one. So that's what you'll have to decide, whether you want me to try and find the mini one or the big one. That is the question. All right, so it does get little, I think this is the kind of thing that will annoy me. It gets all those little flakes and little strands of paper that just come off whenever you're die cutting. It sticks to it and makes it a bit, yeah, I don't really like it like that. All right, so here we have our, ooh, that looks pretty that way too. But we have our background and we have our two angels here. And I think what we'll do is we'll create a little love heart in the middle, like a shaker card. I think that would be really cool. So let me grab my stitched hearts dies, I think, and we will die cut a heart right in the middle. Of this panel. Where does the angel stamp come from? Yes, it is a Hefty Doodle stamp set, and it is the set called My Little Angel. And we have some really cute, adorable little angel images, and a harp, and a little book, and some really cute sentiments. Thank heavens you're in my life, and so happy to have you in my life, Bunny. Marjan says, I have a shaving brush on my desk to brush all the little stuff off of it. That's a good idea. I like that little tip and trick there. I think we'll go for the little one. Like so. Will we? Or shall we go big or go home? actually, I quite like the big one. Let's do it. Let's pop this in the middle. And we will die cut this like a saw. I'll have to use my Gemini Junior for this one because he's a bit bigger. Oh no, it dropped. Completely lost it. There it is. Nessa says, I have a silicone mat for rolling out pastry. I wonder if that would work the same. So some of the silicone mats, like which are called Silpats, they actually have kind of fibers in the middle or metal or something in the middle. So I don't think that would work. However, I have these, which are also marketed for things like rolling out pastry. I use them as a non-slip, but you might have to use the shiny side. But please try them out. Let us know your thoughts. All right, so let's get a piece of card and use my new mini scoreboard. I'm all excited about it. I love this little slidey majig here. We'll pop it in here. And we want 4 1/4. Oh, I like it. It has actually like raised up bits. Oh, I like it a lot. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I do, I like that one. I think this will be my new best friend. Pop that in there beside my cardstock. And this is going to go right here. Oh, this is wider than I thought, but that's okay. We'll just trim it down. I'm just going to have to make sure that I trim it evenly on both sides because we want our heart to stay centralized. Like a saw. Let's stick this down a second. And I'm going to add some Gloobert, little Gloobert. Is the scoreboard yours? It's not Heffy Doodle scoreboard. It is a We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard, but we just got them in stock in the Heffy Doodle store. We have a few in stock. I was scouring through trying to find some other crafty essentials that you guys might like. I wanted to try it out as well. Awesome! All right, I think I'm actually going to pull out a couple of stamp sets and get like little stars and little hearts and pop them on here. Actually, there's some hearts here. Oh, the music would be really good. Okay. Oh, tiny acrylic block, where are you? And we'll go ahead and use the same inks that I used earlier, if one can find them. Here they are. I think the little music notes would be cute. And maybe what we'll do is we'll use the blue for that. Bring back some of that blue colors. Oh, that's probably going to be right underneath. I mean, the angel's probably going to be right there, which is probably bad placement, but nevertheless. I love adding little tiny stamps to the set to be used whenever we're creating backgrounds. I think it just brings the whole thing together. All right, I'm not going to use the open heart. I'm going to hunt for a little tiny solid heart. Nessa says, is the move still on track? Well, we still haven't had a signed contract, which is pretty much the thing that we need in order to be like, in order to know that everything is going ahead. So we still haven't had that. We need to get a signed contract from the people buying our house before we can sign one for the other house. And likewise, the people buying our house need to get a signed contract from the person buying their house. So it's an incredibly frustrating waiting game. But there's not very much I can do. At the start of the week, the last several weeks, it's been, oh, maybe this is the week, this is the week. And you allow yourself to start thinking about things and wondering and dreaming, and it's so fun. And then by the middle of the week, you're like, hoping to have heard something by now. And then by the end of the week, you're like, right, heads will roll. But it is what it is. There's still movement, as we keep being told, but it's really not significant enough for me to get overly excited about it. Sadly. All right, is this going to be big enough? Let me have a look. See. Nope. Need to cut a new piece down. All right, so I'm grabbing some acetate. And this is the extra thick acetate, actually, which I'm a big fan of. Makes life a little bit easier. Also in the store. The other thing that I got for the store, and I got it because I remember someone on here talking about it. Snow, it might have been you. And it's called a grip sheet. And I feel like maybe somebody said that they put it on their Misty. Would that be right? And somebody said that they put, it's like a grip sheet. You can put them on your acrylic blocks, I believe, and then it grips things. It does exactly what it says on the tin. But I'm sure someone said that they put it on their Misty somewhere, but I don't know whether they put it on like this part of their Misty or whether they put it on this part of their Misty. I'm not sure. But maybe you guys can help it. It's a sticky sheet for Misty, says Roberta. So Roberta, walk me through how that kind of works, essentially. Let's see. I'm going to put some tape around here. I've heard about others putting it on their grid mat. So when you say grid mat, do you mean the little like the paper insert that they get that comes with the MISTI? I guess that makes sense. What's the benefit of the sticky sheet? So it has a good grip on it. So let's say, for example, if I were, if I had my card here, there's a risk that it's going to move around, but the grip sheet means it won't move around. So mostly, I think this is useful for things like when you're doing, you use a template and you take the card and you turn it like this and you get a repeated pattern on it. Can't remember what it's called at the moment. A turnabout or something like that. Ow, ow, ow. I hurt my nail. So I cut myself under my nail and it's really sore. There was something like on the chopping board, and it was probably like pancake batter or something that was all dried in, and I tried to scrub it and it didn't work. So then I just went with my nail like to scratch it, and when I went to scratch it, it like popped up on the one side, but then dug in under my nail. I know it sounds gross. It was gross, and I screamed, and it bled so badly. It was nuts. It's healed now, but it's if I push something into it, it's very sore. All right. So here we go. Here we have our little panel here, and we have a little lady here and a little lady here. And actually, I'm going to use the die to die cut just a thin layer of foam to raise them up, because I think I would enjoy to have a little bit of dimension. So I've got some foam sheets here, and it's double-sided adhesive foam sheets. I'm going to cut enough that I can cut out 2 of these and then run it through my machine here. Wreath builder, yes, the turnabout stamp and the wreath builder. Thank you, that's what I was trying to say, the wreath builder. And you don't have to use magnet. It holds the card in place. Yes, great. Oh, might have to take one of them out of my out of the shop and give it a go. Can you get this in your store, the foam sheet, please? We do have some foam sheets in store. I don't know whether it's specifically this one, because this one I have had for years and years and years and years. So I don't think it's specifically this one, but we can get double-sided foam sheets in the store. Yes, you can. And for those of you who missed it at the start, we have a promotion on in the Heavy Doodle store at the moment, where you get a free Be Mine die with any order. So you get a free die. There we go. So let's stick this on. Gonna be so cute. Lovely. And for the inside of my shaker, I'm going to use some Heavy Doodle foam tape. Of course I am. Heavy Doodle foam tape. And the Heavy Doodle foam tape is 3 millimeters deep, which means that it is plenty of room for your shaky bits. Big shout out, by the way, to anybody who is homeschooling at the moment. Whew. Full on, eh? I certainly think so. All right. So what you want to make sure that you do is fill any gaps. So there's like a big gap here. So I'm just going to take another piece and smush it in there in that corner. Likewise down here. There's no gaps around about. Jasmine says, does it leave this dye sticky? No, no, no. So it's sticky on one side and then grippy on the other. So for example, if I wanted to put it on here, then I would peel off the back, the sticky back, and stick it on, trim it down, and then so it's permanently stuck to my acrylic block. And then this top layer, and if you looked, it would have a little square of film on it, and that would be grippy, for want of a better word. So you could like pick up something with it. So that I think is what it does and what it's all about. I need to investigate it more, obviously. I've got you guys all excited about something that I haven't even tested out. How rude. All right, so I have just brought in some of the corners here to fill those gaps. And I'm going to go and see if I can find some really cute shaky bits. Go in here. Let's see what I can find. Actually, this was a mix that was in the Absolutely Awesome Heavy Doodle kit. So that would be perfect, I think. Yes, sirree, Bob. Now I'm going to give this a bit of a dust down. And I could emboss in here, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to put something on the outside. But let's just also add some powder tool to that. I homeschooled my 3 kids and loved it, said Netha. Ooh. That's awesome. I actually really enjoy homeschooling. It's more the homeschooling whilst trying to run a business kind of thing. That's the more difficult bit for me anyway. So I've added some white in there. And then I also have some Nuvo crystal cloud circles. I want this to be really quite sparkly. Sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. Marjolein says, I would love the wreath builder. I can't find it in the Netherlands. It's Gina K's, isn't it? Yes, it is Gina K's. Nessa says that the kiddos were the ones in their 30s and the youngest is now 23. So what you tell me is you're out of practice and you don't want to homeschool my one for me. I'd love to. There we go. Pop that up into the corner. Almost like this thing. I might have to get my head underneath here, so bear with me. There we go. Pop this right on top here. Doop. Bauman says, yes, I agree. Homeschooling whilst trying to work full-time was an extreme challenge. Luckily, we only had to do it for 5 weeks here in Australia. Are you homeschooling or teaching at home with school support? They call it home learning. And so the school sends stuff every day. And I have to say they're brilliant, and I know that they're doing absolutely everything that they can, but I also need to say that is a little bit of a nightmare. It's not an easy peasy thing. And some days, like the last week, there was just so much stuff, and then this week it felt like there wasn't enough things. Like there was very it was very up and down, very different. So, but like I say, I understand they're doing their best, and this is completely new for them. But from the point of view of trying to kind of get a grip on things, so you know the pace that you need and you know the amount of involvement you need, it's very, very confusing and all sorts. Yeah. Of course, Piper is like a whiz. She just wants constant attention. All right. So we've got, I think I'm going to put a banner on here because I think that would look really cute. A little cutie patootie banner. And then they can be holding the banner. And then maybe a sentiment underneath. So what about sending you hugs? How would that work? Sending you hugs? Or just for you, wishing you but then you need something like happy birthday or wonderful day. We could have two wonderful and then put friend underneath. That would work. Lots of options. I quite like sending you hugs. I think that would be fun. So I'm going to, I think, do this in white. I think that would work well. Remember what it's gone to. Nessa says, that's so hard. Yeah, it's been challenging. Definitely. Martin says, over here the teachers give the lessons online. I don't have to do anything but put something to eat and drink for them. Wow, that's brilliant. So the school here, they are doing things online. However, is not really like that. And it might be an age thing as well, because if your kiddos are a bit older, you going back into your bed, buddy? your kiddos are a bit older, then maybe they're a bit more self-sufficient. So Piper does have online Google Meet. However, some days she has one at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, and 1:50. And then the other days she maybe only has 2 of those. But you don't really know in advance which day it's going to be. It could be anything. Which is where my struggle come in, because when she's on those Google Meets, I'm able to get on with some stuff. Because I know there's a teacher there with her. But whenever she's not on the Google Meet, then I need to be with her the full time. And sometimes they'll join the Google Meet, and the teacher will say, if you're okay with this and you think you're fine with it, then you can just drop off and do, you know, the worksheet or whatever it may be. And she will, like, 100% of the time just drop off and then be like, Mom, can you help me? So Snow was telling me that last week, if you use the dull matte embossing powder with Distress Oxide, oh, sorry, buddy, you're terrible. My boy is so handsome. Then it looks really good. So I'm gonna give that a go, I think. Because why not? So I have a sending you, and we're going to do hugs underneath. And I think I'm going to use the blue, bring that blue back in. Nessa says, I'd rather home educate and control the syllabus. Yeah, so last year, hold on. Last year, up until the summer, that was very much what we were doing, is that we were in control of our own destiny, I guess. And it meant that we actually did, like, I got some workbooks and we went through them, and she was really good at it. But it also meant that we could, we had time to do, like, French. So I started French lessons with her, and she really, really loved French. I speak French. I studied it at uni, spent a year in France. So to me, it was really, really nice. I always intended to raise her bilingual, but she hated me talking French to her as a child, as a baby. She hated it so much. And she frequently would just freak out about it. She didn't like it. So that went out the window. So it was really exciting for me to do that with her. But now with the work that they're sending, there's just no time. And then on the days like today, for example, I feel like I'm having a right old moan, and I hope you guys don't. I don't mean to moan. I know the teachers are doing their best, and I'm doing my best too. Okay, I can take this one out. Like today was one of those days where I really could have done with her having some teachers online. And it wasn't. It was very little work from a teacher-led perspective, and very little work actually given them to do. So it just meant that I was really busy, and she kept coming to me going, what's next? And I'm like, oh, she's like, can I watch TV? I'm like, yep. Because there's just certain things I can do. All right, guys, I'm going to put you on mute while I give this a little embossy bossy boo. So I actually don't really like it. It felt like, you might have noticed that I changed the speed of my heat gun halfway through there because it was like blowing the crystals away. You might be able to see that it's shiny on areas around the text and not just on the text. So like a crystal blew off the E here and it's down to the side. Maybe I need to do that again. Interesting. Static on the end. Static when the mute is on mic, or the mic when the mic is on mute. Brahman says, I was so glad to only have one child to homeschool. Me too. Charlotte, who used to work with me, because she doesn't anymore because we went into lockdown and then she had to go get a full-time job. Boo. But I can't really blame her because we're isolated. And yeah, she's got 3. Yeah, and 2 of hers are dyslexic. So that's just even more craziness. Jasmine says, which embossing powder is this? This is, let me show you. This is called Wow Clear Matte Dull Embossing Powder. So it is weird, not like other embossing powders, I will say. I'm going to try that one again because I feel like it's I feel like it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Maybe I just need to heat up my heat tool a little bit longer or something to that effect. We'll give it another go. Oh, we have someone on Twitch saying hello. Hello. Hello from Germany, she says. I'm just trying to read your email, your handle. So, Ketchen Ayumi. That's probably completely obliterating your handle, but anyway, I give it a go. I tried. Let's die cut this. This is a different cardstock this time. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but let's go. You think it was because of the boosting of the mic? Maybe. It could also be the fact that when I'm using the heat tool so close, I'm not sure. Did I heat it from above or below? I heated it up from above. So this time let's try below and see if that will make any difference for us. Might be a little bit less blowy. We'll give it a go anyway. So I won't forget my embossing powder. I'm not my embossing powder, my powder tool. And put my paper underneath. I need to get my center out too. Bronwyn says, my daughter also struggled with not seeing her friends every day. The teacher did encourage them to FaceTime their friends to maintain the connection. Yeah, so we did that last time, but this time, seriously, there's just no time for it. I mean, I was even having, I actually wonder today if some of the parents said something, because last week it was, you were running from one Zoom meet to the next, and then Piper would turn around and be like, when's break time? And I'm like, sorry, dude, you've got another Google Meet. So I'm wondering if it was someone said something, because it's full on for those little chickens. But when Piper finishes school at the end of the day, once we're finished our home learning, she will go and she will log on to the Xbox, and sometimes she's playing games, but sometimes she's just watching Netflix or something. and she will have her friends in her ear. So every day she gets to speak to them. She doesn't always get to see them, but she does get to speak to them. And then a couple of times a week, normally she will have a Zoom chat. But for the Zoom chat, it's so funny. They would literally be chatting for hours about absolutely nothing. It's so funny. All right, I'll mute you again, and I apologize in advance for any static. I will put the text up here, and then or down there. Oh, here it is. We'll put the text there, and then you can mute your own thing if you want to. All right. All right. So yes, you can heat it from below, although I will say you are at risk of singeing the paper a lot more, especially if, like me, you're just too busy looking at the the embossing powder and not on the other stuff. So let's get my tweezer-roonies here. Oh, I also added some reverse action tweezers to the store. That was another thing that I wanted to add. I tried to think of all the things that I use in my crafty streams and what I think is essentials, you know. Ah, it's Kitty. Okay, so over on Twitch, it's Kitty. It's like Kitty. This Kitchkin. Welcome, Kitty. What about you, Kitty? Last week on Twitch, I had Alex, who was struggling to get my name or my words, my mouth even around her full name, and she went, "You can just call me Alex." I said, "Good." All right, so I'm actually going to cut this in the pink as well, and I'm going to layer it underneath just to give a little bit of a shadow effect. I think that would look kind of cool. And that's using the Bubblegum Blush cardstock from Heffy Doodle. Bronwyn says, never been more thankful for technology in this past year. Absolutely. We really are lucky, aren't we, that the technology has actually come so far, and we're able to do things like video chats and everything like that. All right, I'm actually going to snip this here and here and get Mr. Gluebird out. Mr. Gluebird, come to me. And essentially, I just want a little hint of the pink. Doesn't even really need to be showing much at all. Okay. You can probably see it there against the white. It pops out on top. And whoopsies, I'll do the same on these little tails over here. Like so. Oh. I think that'll look nice. Jasmine's off to bed. She's got work tomorrow and she's got a lot of crafting to do. Night night, Jazz. Happy crafting for tomorrow. Awesome. Okay. So this is going to go right here. I'm going to add some Happy Doodle foam tape to this as well. Actually, I'll use the Happy Doodle strips because they're a bit thinner. I think, oh, so these are the strips that are foam. I'll not need a full one. I'll just cut this down in half. And if I peel back the release paper, it's easier to maneuver. And I'll put a little glue dot behind each of those tails to help me tuck them in. The banner is so cute with that pop of pink. Neat trick. It is. I actually really like doing this to like word dies as well. So maybe we'll do that for the sentiment as well. We've got sending you. Pop that like that. And these guys are going to be off to the side, I think. And then we need the words hugs. So we have a sentiment that says hugs. And we also have the stitched alphabeters, which I think would work really well too. So let's see what hugs looks like. Ooh, that looks nice. Let me see what hugs looks like with the stitched alphabeters. So that would be, so the only thing is this has to need to accommodate for this loopy here, whereas these ones would sit a little neater, so I may be favoring these. I think I am. Sending you hugs. All right, perfect. And then the question is, what color are we going to go? Are we going to go pink or purple or blue, or are we going to go a little bit of each and layer them up for some added fun? That might work out really well, actually. Let's take a piece of the Ice Blast, that purple, and the pink as well. I might actually see if we've got some remnants instead of cutting into that nice little piece. There we go. I'll die cut these. Oh, we've got some purple requests. well, we can try them all out. Anyway. And use these little ink wells to hold my letters. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, I need to take turn off my mug. Okay, let's try purpley. Purpley, purpley. Oh no. This is why I should use memo tape. Just being lazy. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Now pink. Roberta is all for a little of each. Maybe what we can do is sandwich a white layer in between each of the colored layers. We'll only do that if we think it needs it. Let's see. So we could have blue, then pink, then purple like this. I just don't think it's going to pop like there. I think we're going to need to have the blue or the pink on top. Let's see. Or we layer up these as our shadow and then we do white on top. Also an option. Sending you hugs. Let's see what it looks like with the pink on top. Whoops. I think the pink stands out more, but I do think that white will actually be the winner. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to get my seagull card done. Do you? But I don't mind because I have got a really cute card here and I've used the color snapshot that I wanted to do. And I have shown mirror stamping, which was the other thing I wanted to do. So even if I just get one card done tonight, I don't mind because I think it's really cute so far. Well, does anybody have any other plans for the weekend? Sometimes I think that's a bit of a pointless question now that we live in these pandemic times, because everyone's like, nope, locked in. Well, hey ho. I'm going to use Mr. Gloobert here. I'm going to go purple, pink, blue, and then white. We got a really cool effect at the side. You see that multi-tone color? It's really cool. So now I forget what order I did. Purple, then pink, then blue. Marjan says, going to drop off some flowers at Mum and Dad's. I might go for a walk. Oh, good. There was a lot of talk last week in the news because apparently there were the police were cracking down on people and basically issuing fines. And there was a thing in the news where two ladies decided that they were going to go for a walk in the open air and get some exercise, and you're allowed to exercise with one other person. So they decided that they would do that. They would go for a walk, but they would go to this like a common, which is like an open green area. And they went to the common and they took separate cars, and they also each of them had stopped at like a local takeaway place to get a coffee. So different, like a different Starbucks. So one went to one, one went to the other. And when they got to the car park of the common, and they both got out of their separate cars, and they started their walk, apparently the police were there and issued them both a £500 fine because, according to the police, the fact that they had coffee constituted as a picnic. So, yeah, there was a little bit of an uproar last week. About how the police were taking it a bit too far, and that the ladies had done everything within the rules that had been set. They took separate cars, they were really safe. They went to an outdoor place. They were masked up and everything. But they had brought coffee to keep them warm. So, yeah. But I looked up, I was like, a coffee is not a picnic. If someone was like, oh, hey, let's go for a walk, I'm going to bring a picnic, and I turned up and they had a cup of tea or coffee, I'd be like, dude, go and get me a sandwich. I looked up the definition of a picnic, and it said that it was a packed food. So I would be all over those. I would be all over those guys being like, a drink, a coffee is not a picnic. Thank you, Mr. Police Officer. I do not think so. That would be a very disappointing picnic. Right, absolutely. Marcy agrees. Don't picnics usually involve food? Yeah, I would agree, Marcy. All right, I think this is the winner here. Sending you hugs. And the challenge is going to be getting this lined up nicely and then adhering it. I'm going to attempt to use some glue dots for this, I think. Which will tend to work a bit better on the shiny surface of acetate. Nice. And there was also a story about how over here we have the National Trust. I don't know if you guys have that in your respective countries, but the National Trust is, I guess, an organization where you'd have like stately homes and maybe castles, things like that, which would be historic, etc. And they are owned by the National Trust, which I guess is part of the government, and they keep it all pretty, and it's open to the public, and often you can go and have like a walking tour around the manor house or whatever it is that is there. And there's a lot of, I guess, like conservation areas, and it's that kind of jazz, that it's something to support the UK, and National Trust have you can buy like a ticket for a year's parking or whatever, and they're really expensive. And all the National Trust places are still open to the public, and a lot of them involve like walk. So as you can imagine, a lot of people were going, oh, let's go for a walk. Where will we go? Oh, we could go to such and such a place. But I heard stories of the police hiding out at these National Trust locations, but kind of sneakily. So rather than being in plain sight, so when you drive in, you see the police car. They're kind of like hidden around the corner. So you have to get in and park your car and pay for parking and get out and then walk down and start the walk. And then the police are like, oh, hello, here's a fine. So I think that's a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot cheeky. I'm not so keen on that. So someone's got to break the news to Ranger that we're not going to be going anywhere exciting for our WALK tomorrow. All right, I'm going to add some sparklies to this, I think. And then call it done. I'm thinking about adding I have some crystal glaze here, but I also have these, which are almost like little bubbles, for want of a better word. I think they're pretty cool. I'm also going to add a couple of these drops from the crystal glaze and try not to touch it until tomorrow, and they'll dry kind of similar to what we have there. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Let me zoom in so you can take a closer look. Here it is. Sending you hugs. There we go. I had lots of fun making this. I hope that you had fun too. I'm gonna call it there for tonight. Just look how well it shakes with my 3mm foam from Heavy Doodle. I'm loving this. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna call it there for tonight. Throat's getting a little bit dry. And I hope that you might come on over to the Heavy Doodle blog and check out the colour snapshot that Davina has on the blog, and you might get inspired to create something with it in that colour theme. I think the pastel colours kind of give me that sort of spring vibe, which I think is really nice. Although I'm still feeling wintry. Today we went out and the whole place was covered in frost, and we went down to the field and we threw a ball for the Ranger, and it was just awesome, and it was just frosty and crunchy, and I was loving it. But still, I'm still loving these soft colours as well. I hope you had a great come craft with me. I had lots of fun hanging out with you guys, and I will see you next week with hopefully more house news. And I've been saying that for 6 months. Can you believe it? 6 months since we put our offer in. Oh, no sigh. I think this must win the trophy for the longest house move ever. Yeah. Right, have a good one, and I shall chat to you next week. Bye.